Hey everyone! So one of the recent places we visited was Kingman, Arizona. Located on the west border between Arizona and California, and just a little south of actually the tip of Nevada. And this place was just too cool not to make an own special video about. So some of the history of Kingman is in October of 1857, Lieutenant E.F. Bale and his corpse discovered the site of Kingman. And it was the off-duty soldiers who were roaming in the hills who discovered gold and silver, which would eventually lead to Kingman having not one, not two, but several mining camps around the hills. And because of this, Kingman grew pretty steady and actually had a population of about 500 by the year 1900. And it was from 1900 to 1920, they had a lot of gold strikes, which caused the town of Kingman to grow even more. One of the beautiful things about Kingman is the history. They do a very great job on keeping the buildings historic and the history of the town alive. Kingman was known as the heart of Route 66 because it had a special placement between not only Route 66 but the Santa Fe Railroad. And on the south side of the railroad was where the houses from the 1800s were built. Many of them you could still drive into the town and see today. On the north side of the train, however, you had booming businesses, many because of mining, but they also were excited about the new construction of a Boulder Dam, which would famously become the Hoover Dam. In 1919, there was 7 garages, 3 meat markets, 2 drugstores, 2 churches, a Western Union, 2 lumber yards, a picture show, and numerous hotels and saloons. My bad, bars. Along with this, when World War II came along, Kingman got an additional Air Force base. And this Air Force base is now a museum that you can see in Kingman. We unfortunately did not go there. We heard that it was closed, but apparently you can still drive up and see through the fence and look at the hangar and everything that was once being used during World War II. Some of my favorite things about Kingman was the murals, for starters. They had a lot of Route 66 murals, and for me, that's just, I want to stop, I want to take pictures. Along with this, we were actually stopping taking pictures, and we met someone from our hometown. He saw the Upper Michigan sticker on my uncle's vehicle and came up to talk to us about it. And he so happened to mention that he was from the town that we are from as well. So we got a kick out of that, and we talked with him for a little bit before continuing on our journey. Another thing that I really liked there was the military memorial they have there. It was a very simple but yet beautiful memorial, and probably one of the best I have seen in my travels. And as I mentioned, it's very, very historical. Lots of buildings from the 1800s still. The businesses being old-fashioned. If you're into history, this place is a must-stop. Located in Kingman is the Santa Fe locomotive. It was built in 1928 and carried passengers from Los Angeles to Kansas City and traveled over 2.5 million miles in its run. It was donated to Kingman in 1957, and in 1987, nearly 1,200 residents used only a rope to pull the locomotive forward so they could fit a caboose behind it. Also located in Kingman is the mesquite tree. It's kind of cheesy, I'll admit it right now, but I loved it because they believe it is the oldest living thing in Kingman, as it is over 200 years old and it needs braces to keep itself in place. Along with this, Kingman was actually a forest of these trees until the 1880s, when more people started to move in. So it's really cool to go and kind of see a glimpse of the past. Along with this, they have the Route 66 Museum, the Mojave Museum, and the Manoli 1915 House Museum. I did not go to the House Museum because there was some awkward timing with our travels and the house. But the house is from 1915, and I did walk past it, and it was a cool sight to see in the middle of town with all the businesses around it. And I guess the inside is reserved, and it basically shows you what life was like back in 1915. As for the other two museums, they were amazing and honestly some of the best stops I have had on my travels so far. The best part of it was that it only cost $4 at one museum to get access to all three of these museums. And the person told me if I keep my ticket and come to Kingman at a later date, I can use that ticket to go back into the museum. So basically you have a $4 one-time purchase and you get access to 3 different museums. I did take a lot of pictures in the other 2 museums, so I'm gonna work on getting videos up for those. But thank you for tuning in to this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.